People in the United States are going to have to become more business savvy. They're not going to be able to compete with people from the Philippines and people from Latin America for jobs. There's a huge shift going on in the world right now, and it has to do with work and employees. If you've been paying attention to what's going on in the world, the younger generation, Generation Z and Generation Alpha, the kids don't want to do work anymore. They don't want to do a normal job. They don't want to learn accounting. They don't want to learn these important aspects of running a business. They want to be content creators. They want to be musicians. They want to be artists, actors. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think every single human being at the core, at least for me, they crave to be an artist, a creator of some sort. You have a creative side that you want to explore and you want to be able to play with and share your creativity with the world. So I don't think that's a bad thing. But what I do know is that a lot of businesses are having a hard time hiring younger talent, finding talent, and then just incentivizing them to actually do the job. More and more people from the United States don't want to work standard jobs anymore. But there's a caveat to that. Well, not a caveat on the United States side, but there's something that is changing in the rest of the world from the second worlds, like the Philippines and Latin America. And so yes, you probably know where I'm going with this, which is virtual assistants, remote employees, all that stuff. You probably heard about this before with businesses hiring people from other countries or outsourcing from India and all that stuff. And it was a huge pain in the butt for a lot of customers, like their phone company and customer services and everything, calling customer service of a company and it being some Indian person and you're not able to understand them. And that was ridiculously annoying, but it's changing. The rest of the world wants to experience the high standard of living that we've experienced for such a long time. And they've understood, in fact, there was a study, it was a huge percentage of return on investment on learning the English language. The next one, I think, was German and then Spanish. So, of course, if you're not from the United States and you speak a different language than English, you have a huge return on investment if you learn how to speak English fluently. Like, it's huge. I think greater than 30% in yearly salary or something like that. But it was a huge percentage. And so obviously, and this study was a long time ago. I think this was like back in 2009 when I read this. I was in high school. So you better believe that there were a lot of people who understood this, they knew this, and they've been spending the decades learning English and then teaching their children how to become fluent in English. So now we have a whole world of people from the Philippines, from Latin America, from Malaysia, who are fluent in English, and they don't even sound like they're from the Philippines or anything. They sound like they're from America. That's something that's a huge piece of information to know that's happening in the world right now. Another thing, aside from that, is that the workers around the world are becoming more skilled, and not skilled from their country's standards, but to the standards of the United States. So what we're seeing now is that the workers here in the United States, they don't want to work normal jobs. They want to be content creators and everything. And then you have the people from the Philippines and from Latin America who are stepping up and they want to come and work these jobs in the United States. And they're willing to work these jobs for a smaller percentage of the wage of what you would hire somebody here in the United States for. And they're able to live a phenomenal life with something like $10 an hour in USD or $15 an hour. So what you might pay somebody $20 and $25 an hour here in the United States, you're able to pay somebody $9 or $10 an hour in the Philippines or Latin America, and they're doing tremendously well with that. And they're really happy and they're really excited to come to work. They feel like it's a huge opportunity for them, and it can be a huge opportunity for them. I believe we're going to start seeing a shift. I think we're seeing a shift more towards people in the United States are going to have to become more business savvy. They're not going to be able to compete with people from the Philippines and people from Latin America for jobs. Now, there's still going to be some of the older people that are not comfortable with hiring people virtually or having remote workers. But over time, the millennials and the Generation Z, when they start to become the leaders of these businesses, or when they have their businesses become a lot larger and they are the ones who are actually hiring employees, they're going to be much more comfortable hiring overseas employees and remote employees. So I think that there's going to be a huge battle between US citizens and then citizens from places like the Philippines and Latin America. And there's going to be a lot more pressure for people in the United States to become more savvy with building a brand and learning how to build an enterprise or an organization, a business, something that can provide value to the world where they would be hiring people. That's my spiel on that. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this kind of content, if you like business content and whatnot, give me a follow, hit subscribe.